Hello friends, welcome back to Education Product channel. Today I'm going to discuss about production support related roles and what would be the real-time scenarios you'd get and how to handle the tickets, the JIRA tickets or service now tickets. So we will discuss in detail about production support roles. Okay. First of all, we'll get many kind of issues in production support. Okay, there are different kinds of production levels will be there. We'll discuss all the levels and what would be the related roles in each level. So here if you see, we'll have four levels will be there: L1, L2, L3 and L4. Majorly L4 team, they will be taking care of all the incidents. Okay, incidents, the business will raise incidents from ServiceNow tool. ServiceNow, it is a ticketing tool which we use in real time. The real MNC companies and other companies also they will use some other tools like Zoho and Bugzilla. These kind of tools also they will use. But majorly they will use ServiceNow or JIRA. Okay. So L1 is nothing but it's a high level. High level is nothing but where the managers will be there, uh, like technical managers and related to the higher level team will be there here. And L2 is like admin related. Suppose if you take Informatica only, in Informatica, developer and admins will be there, different role sets. So in some cases, we will get admin related incidents like some permission errors or if there are any nodes are down. So Informatica server nodes are down or Oracle database space is consumed fully. So in that case, the admin team will be taking care of L2 tickets. So while raising the business team, they will be mentioning like whether it is a L1, L2. Based on priority, it will be changed at the level. So L4 is nothing but basically every day uh, the business got any errors like sorry guys, I'm just having some throat issue, but I have got a free time, so I thought I can make this video. So L4 is nothing but it's multiple support team will be there. Like every day wise, you will get issues like whether any data issues or if you will not receive any files or if you get any Oracle SQL issues. So those kind of issues will be handled by the L4 team. Okay, we'll discuss what kind of issues will come in each ways. Okay, if we have a flat file as a source and it is FTP. FTP is nothing but we are pushing the file or receiving the file from the remote server. So FTP it from other system. At the time of FTP, if it got failed, then your job also will fail. So this is also one kind of scenario. So if you need to some jobs, they need flat files to run the job. So that file is not in our local system, but it has to be received from other systems. So at that time, we will write an Unix shell script to fetch the file from remote servers. In that remote server, we will use the SFTP command to fetch the SFTP, and then we will use the remote server name. Okay, and we will use the directory from which directory we need to pull the file, and it should be in. We need to change the permissions before pulling. So in that case, we will use FTP. Suppose if we shell script had failed to fetch the files from the remote servers, so at that time might be from the upstream, the job might not run in the particular time. Suppose today we have to receive at 10 a.m. from the remote servers, like from the upstream application. But at their end, the job was not ran. Due to that, we at 10 a.m. we might not receive the file, right? At that time, we will be not able to fetch any file. So after that, at 10 a.m., the Informatica job will done, but it will get failed due to file not available. So this is one scenario. And if source data is not correct, means not in correct format. Suppose we have a source data. Let's say we are getting a table from the Oracle or any RDBMS servers. So we might get some, what do we say? The data will be not in structured format. Like we might receive some unwanted characters from the upstream or from the table. Okay, at that time the job will get failed. And the third scenario is database deadlock. One or more process accessing the data at the same time or database server down. So this kind of issues also we will get in the real-time production environment. So database deadlock, once the job run, it will get failed. In the session log, if you see, you can see that database deadlock. We'll see this kind of sentences. So which means might be the jobs are running, the two jobs are running, or the two jobs are fetching the data from the same table. Let's say sales is a table, and we are running a sales report job. Sales report monthly, weekly, daily. We will be having this kind of jobs as well. Suppose the jobs are parallelly running, and both the jobs are fetching the data from the same table. So at that time, database deadlock will happen. Okay. And one more case is database server down. So this scenario majorly we will see in production environment. Database server down means we might not be able to fetch any table, or we might not be able to connect to database itself. So it can happen in many ways, like if you have any memory issues or any connectivity issues or network issues. So this kind of database server down errors will come up. And the next is taking care of the mapping parameter and mapping variable file name. So whenever you are defining the mapping parameters or variables in the job, in a workflow, in the Informatica job, so you should have a parameter files and parameter variables should be different. So variables should be available while we are running the workflow. So if you get any errors, it will when while we are running the workflow, you will get an errors like couldn't able to find the parameter value or variable value. So at that time, you need to go and check the workflow mapping and what are the variables they have defined, from where we are getting the variable values, or dynamically we are passing, and you need to analyze that workflow. So then you can able to resolve this issue. And next is while importing the test environment into the production, some of the reusable maps get invalidated. Yeah. This will, if you are working in a migration project, then we will be facing this kind of issues. Uh, Not from test environment into production. From test to we will be it's like dev to QA or the test, or and we will call it what do you say that uh, QA environment, right? Basically not into the production environment, we'll get this kind of errors while importing the workflow jobs to the productions. Okay. And next is most issues come back to quality of the design, quality of the code, and complexity of the solutions. So this if we have any complex workflows, like if you take sales related workflows, then we will have a like production jobs will be there. Those production jobs will run whatever the sales related, transaction related data will be loaded right in the staging. staging area. After that, we'll load into some another layer. It will be vary depending on the company. Okay, in my company, we have three layers: stage layer, ITF layer, and production layer. So in production layer, we will be there are again the production jobs will be there, which is nothing but multiple of workflows will be run under this production jobs. Okay, so at that time there will be uh, n number of worklets will be there and n number of sessions will be there. So all these are will be depending jobs. Once all the depending jobs will completed, then only the production job will trigger, and it will load all the weekly, monthly, daily, all kind of transactions details will be loaded. So in that case, this quality and design should be maintained while designing designing that kind of workflows like production jobs workflows. Okay, and error due to dependency of jobs running simultaneously. Yeah, this is previously I have explained it. If you are running two workflows at a time, but there has a dependency. Suppose let's say we have five sessions. In the two in each job we have five sessions, and each job there are two dependency jobs will be there. Once the two dependency jobs are done, then only the two sessions will run. After that, the remaining three sessions will get executed. So we'll get errors like if the jobs are running simultaneously, then it will we'll get the error. And then they will ask you like what is the session recovery procedure. Let's say here, let's go to monitor. Don't have it here. Okay, there are no jobs here. So basically, what I'm saying is, if the session got failed, how you can record that sessions? Okay, suppose we have this. Okay, session failure due to connectivity issues. This will be like sorry, this one, right? We are discussing session recovery procedures. How we will recover a session? Suppose a job has been failed and you want to recover its session. There are multiple ways to recover a session or workflow. Let's say I just run this job. So it gets succeeded. Suppose it got failed, how you can recover? So you can recover from here. If you click on this workflow, you can see the multiple options: restart, stop, abort, recover, cold start, schedule, and schedule. Right? Suppose it got failed. So what you have to do? You have to just click on recover, or you just click on this session directly. Restart, restart task. Suppose we have a multiple sessions in this job. Okay, let's say there are 10 sessions are there. In that, three sessions got failed, not in parallelly. The third one got failed, and the sixth one, and then ninth one. So how you can recover the job? How you can recover the sessions? You cannot just click on this workflow and restart. If you do like this, it will start from the first session. If you start like that, suppose in this session there are some primary keys are there, duplicates are not allowed. If you run again, what will happen? It will not load the data because it already succeeded. It already loaded the records here. If you see here, 13. Okay, it already loaded. So you cannot again rerun the succeeded session. So at that time, what you need to do? You just have to go to the failed session and restart start task. Again, the third one also, right click on that, restart task. And again, the sixth session, click on restart task. This is how you can restart the task. In some scenarios, the first three got succeeded, next six got failed. Okay. At that time, what you can do, you just go to the failed one, third, from 3 to 10. Let's say 3 to 10 session got failed. Right click on the third session and you can choose this restart workflow from task. If you choose this, wherever the session got failed, from that point it will start and it will execute the failed session. So this is how you can recover the sessions. And here is workflow failure due to wrong data, unexpected data from source. This scenarios also we might face in the real time projects. Suppose we are expecting some transaction code, okay, but from source we are getting some company ID. So at that time also we'll get an errors. So that we need to we need to analyze this workflow and from upstream what we are receiving the data and what we are loading into the tables. That you need to cross check and you can rectify. Session failure due to connectivity issues. Yeah, we might face issues like integration server errors. This integration server might not up at that time that we'll get the connectivity issues. Then issue related to services like integration service and repository service. Same. So we might be facing errors like repository server is not available or integration service is not available. Some nodes might not working properly. So that and all Informatica admin will be taking care of. If there are any issues like that, they will be dropping an email every time. So there will be 24/7 working team will be there. So if they find out any issues like that, they will be sending out an email to all the team members. Session failure due to limited space or server. If you use some transformation which use system memory temporarily during session. Example sorter transformation. Yeah. So this error is there will be space. Each job will run will take memory, right? Will take space on the server. So if there are suppose we have a complex workflows and in that we are using sorter, transformation, joiner, lookup, and all these are all take are these are uh, working on a huge data. Okay, these jobs are pulling the data from the upstream application, and the record count will be high. So at that time, these might will take the more memory space on the server side. So at that time also we'll get errors like system memory uh, down, or we'll get like space errors from the servers. Session is unknown status as it is not able to generate log file in session log. This is also we'll see many times. The main scenario for this why we'll get unknown status means it is based on the integration service. Okay. If the integration service is not up and running, then we will face the job will be running like this only. Okay, it will be running and it will be keep on running. Like suppose this session has to complete within 10 seconds or 15 seconds, but it is keep on running from 1 hour. So at that time it will fail. It will the status will show like unknown. So if you get like this, you need to inform to the admin, Informatica admin, and to check their end whether integration service is up and running, or you need to abort the session again rerun this particular session. If it is succeeding, then it's fine. If it again going to the unknown status, then you have to inform to the admin team saying that whether integration service is running or not. You need to snap this particular job where the status is showing unknown. So they will be looking into it and they will get back to you in some time. Okay. So this is done. Workflow failed and no recover option is configured. So these jobs I haven't faced in real-time scenario, but there might be cases who that developer. So once the job is failed, it has to start from the beginning. So there is no recovery. You don't need to recover that workflow. You just have to restart from the beginning. So at that time, they will be placing like no recovery option. And then performance issue. As I said, right? If the sessions are running long time, so it might be due to the table space errors or from the Oracle, or there might be the performance need to be improved for that job. So that we need to analyze that session one. Then only you will come to know what kind of performance we need to implement on that job. Whether it is a push down optimization or it is a partitioning method. Have to monitor the scheduled jobs or run the workflows and scripts which need to run the day. Okay, this comes under monitoring. So monitoring is we'll discuss that later, and we'll discuss this monitoring part separately. Okay, next, if any issues or job fails, immediately check the log and connect with support team if needed. Frequently have to intimate all responding people. Suppose if you have any issues or any the jobs got failed. So the first thing what we will do, we'll check the logs, correct? We'll check the logs. Based on the log, we need to take action. So if it's not related to Informatica error, or it might related to the server or admin related errors, then you need to contact the support team and you need to mention whatever error are available in this logs, so that you need to convey to the respective team, so they will respond it and they will be clearing that issue. Maintain the root cause analysis and issues tracker sheet. This is important. Whenever from the day one you are placed in L4 support or L3 support, so from day one you need to maintain a tracker and the ticket details. You will be a team lead will be assigning tickets to the team, right? So everyone they have to maintain their issues tracker sheet, and how they are analyzing the issue, what is the root cause for that issue, everything they need to maintain it, so that performance at that time, like when the company is providing the hike, right, at that time you have to give some justifications, what and all the work you have done, what kind of issues you have resolved, how you have analyzed the root causes and how you resolve the issues, and that kind of analysis you need to provide it during the hike time. So at that time it will help you a lot, as well as it will sometimes you'll get repeated errors, right? So that time if you just go and check this sheet, you will get an idea and you can resolve it very quickly. How to provide the value added points and try to improve the current process much better. So this is something like improving the performance. Okay. Maintain a log file, screenshot, run statistics. So if you are working in a migration project, then this scenario will be helpful. You need to, after migration done from, let's say, your Informatica 9.6 to 10.5 version migration has happened, and you need to test the jobs, right? At that time, this you need to follow. So you need to take a screenshot of each job how many records we are pulling from source, how many it is loading into the target, and what are all the run statistics for each job. So this you need to maintain in a tracker. And we'll be getting like connection issues, as I said earlier, RDB issues, integration server issues, and database issues, and Unix permission issues. It's rare in production, but it is often in test and dev environment. Storage issues, as we discussed earlier, right? ETL failure due to bad data. You are getting null values, but it is a not null column, and you are getting some unwanted characters supposed to get corrected data from the upstream applications. Unique constant violations. As I said, it is a not null column, but you are receiving null from the upstream. So at that time, you need to inform to the upstream team saying that this column is it's a primary key and which is a not null column, but you are sending as the null values. So they will correct it and they will resend the data to us. Dirty reads. Dirty reads is nothing but the unwanted characters. Suppose let's say the company name should come, but in that company name we are fetching some Japanese characters. Two, three Japanese characters are included in that. So those kind of errors are dirty reads. Next, integration connection loss error. If the integration service is on or it is not up and running, then we'll get connection loss errors. And job running with a very low throughput. So this is something like performance. So this has to be monitored. It has to be monitored, and we need to check the log. Why uh, the throughput is very low, and how many records it is reading from the source, whether it is a RDBMS or file. So that needs to be analyzed, and performance need to be performance techniques needs to be applied on this job. Job failed cause of locking issue. This is major one. Whenever the integration service got it, suppose let's say the integration service is down. Okay, and at that time your all your Informatica jobs will get abort state or unknown state, right? So at that time we it's like headed job. If the integration service is down, you need to be very cautious. Whatever the jobs has been failed and which sessions are in unknown state or which session got aborted. So you need to be very careful. You need to be thoroughly remember all the workflows. For each workflow, there will be some recovery steps will be there. In the L4 production, the team they will give you the KT. So that KT is very important because you need to understand the entire flow from how the business is they are getting the data. Okay, how the business is working on this data based on these workflows. So you need to understand from end to end. So then only it will be easy for you to record the jobs. Okay. So here locking issue is nothing but the Informatica jobs will run on schedule wise. Okay. You might be having control M, Tidal. So in my project, we have used a Tidal automation tool to run the Informatica jobs. All jobs will run based on the script. Once the script, based on the script only, Informatica jobs will run. So this locking issue, when it will happen, suppose one job is running, it got failed. Okay, at that time, the script will print like the folder and all the path details and workflow name and with the script.log. In that way, the script will generate. So if you are going to run the same script again. Once the integration service is up, so you want to record the workflow. So at that time you will run the workflow, but it will say like it will not run. Basically, due to the log file. So if you want to run that workflow, you should remove that log file from the script directory. So you need to log into the Unix servers, go to the script directory, just check whether any dot log files. Just search like start.log, then you will see what are all the log files are available. You need to remove that log file, then you need to run the job. Okay, this is how you need to recover the log files. Job file due to lookup cache fill. As I said, this is lookup cache memory. Whether you need to increase the lookup cache size, then this issue will resolve. Job file due to some permission issue. It could be database, Unix, or Informatica. So if it is the case, then you need to inform to the admin teams of these respective departments, database, Unix, or Informatica. Setting session level properties stop on errors as well. Suppose the job is running and the developer has make this property stop on error as one, but you are getting uh, the job is running and you got one some bad records or something like that. So at that time, based on this stop on error as well, the job will fail. So that you need to check on the session log and you need to rectify this. Okay, if the error record exceeds more than one, the session this is similar to same only. Stop an error as one or records exceeds error records exceeds more than one, then the session will get failed. If you configure wrong relational connections in Workflow Manager, then the session get failed. Obviously, suppose for source connection, if you give the target connection, so it will wrong, right? So you need to give the respective relational connections to run the particular job. If you enable bulk load without dropping indexes in target table, then the session get failed. This is also correct, right? If you have indexes in your table, then the bulk load will not work. You need to select normal load here if you have indexes, or else you can write PSQL post execute will be there, right? Before loading, okay, before loading, you need to drop the indexes, and after that, you need to again create the indexes. If you do not provide any mapping level variables initial value, then the session will. Suppose you want to define a variables. Okay, suppose let's say dollar load date. There you need to give the system initial start date, right? Or you are passing some values like $, count, set count. So there you need to give the initial values 1, 0, something like that. If you don't define any initial values, then the session will get failed. While SQL override in source code for transformation, you miss any function in query, then the mapping is bad, but the session will get failed. Yes. In SQL query override, you will be writing some SQL query, right, to filter out the records or to arrange something. We will be writing code based on the business, right, in the source code for transformation. So if you miss any functions in that query, even though if you validate it, it will be valid only. But during the runtime, it will get failed. So that you need to be take care. So the target table has primary key, but you are loading the. This is something kind of constraint aware. Here we discussed, right? Constant errors, unique constant violation errors. It is a not null column, but you are receiving the null column. Okay. So majorly these kind of errors will be facing in real-time issues. Other than this also we'll get some majorly, but I have covered major errors. So if you remember all these and in interview, if you answer these questions, definitely you will be placed in that company. Okay. These all are in detail errors which we have discussed. Real time we will be facing all these errors. Okay. So if you explain, they will ask you like, could you please explain five uh, production errors which you faced in your project. So you can explain any five or up to 10. So that will be sufficient. And there are some more ways. Recover workflow will recover all the aborted sessions, right? We discussed here. We discussed, right? If you click on here, recover, it will recover all the failed sessions. So if there are like 3 to 4 sessions, we can manually run each session. But if we have more than 10 sessions, then go to workflow manager, right click. You can see recover workflow option. This will only recover or run the failed session. As I said earlier, there are 10, 15 sessions are there, but in that some like 5 to 6 sessions got failed. Or let's say 10, 12 sessions got failed, only 3 got succeeded. At that time, you cannot right click on each session and you can you try to restart the task. So instead of that, you can follow this. Go to workflow manager. Go to workflow manager. Right click on here. Just right click. Here I can say recover workflow, right? So this will recover all the failed sessions. This is how you can recover. So this is also in interview they will ask you this kind of question also. So developer can debug the code in their local or stage environment with the same data setup as prod and debug the issue to find RCA, okay, root cause analysis. Once code fix is done, developer can test in local dev or QA and stage environment and can promote to production based on the business urgency and getting required approvals. So in production, how we will be? Suppose let's say one workflow, they need to do some performance. They need to apply some performance. So at that time, we will be doing all these kind of tests in local or dev environment, right? Once it is suppose in the production, previously the job was taking 30 minutes. Okay, so the business was telling us to improve this job performance to make it like 10 minutes, okay, from 30 minutes to 10 minutes. So at that time we need to analyze that workflow. We need to apply some performance tuning concepts, or you can do the query optimization, whatever. Okay, whatever the possible ways are there, that and all we need to apply, right? So once we applied all our logics, so then we need to test in dev or QA. Okay, then we need to move to the production, right? So if the business are telling like it's a kind of urgency, it's the high level. If that also it will depend on the ticket leveling, right? L1, L2, L3, or L4. Based on the priority wise, we will be implementing the job into the production. So to implement in production also, we need to raise one RCA. One RC we need to raise in the service now ticket. So that will go to the respective team. They will be asking us all the some details. They will be asking us like what is the downtime period, what is the recovery steps if the job was not running properly in production, what is the recovery steps, and when it needs to be implemented. And they will ask you like approvals from the technical team or business team, and uh, we need to provide them the XML files. We need to provide the our Informatica folder details and job details, server details, and environmental details, repository details. There are, there are some list of things will be there that we need to be filled before we are pushing this code to the production environment. Okay. For any production issues which has a business impact, you must provide the RCA and preventive actions for the issue. Yeah, that's what we have discussed, right? If you want to push the data to, if you want to push any workflows or some improved techniques to the production, so then we need to follow some rules and regulations. We need to raise some tickets and we need to attach some documents, our XML files, all the things we need to be work on. For any code change deployment, you must submit the change request. So this we discussed now only, which contains business impact, deployment, rollback plan. Change request requires business outage in case of monolithic application and need approvals from business stakeholders for the downtime window. Okay, so this is also need to take care while raising the CR change request. While we are raising this change request. So if you want to push any data to the production, you need to raise a change request from service now tool. In service now we will raise a CR. And what will be so these are the errors so far we have discussed. Majorly from these only the interview will ask the production questions. Okay, if you thorough in these errors, then definitely you will get a job. Okay. Now we'll discuss about what would be the supporting roles and responsibilities. So the first thing is monitoring all the jobs, and these we you will be working on the bugs. You will be getting the incidents. Those you'll be getting from JIRA, ServiceNow, Bugzilla, Zoho. So this is entirely depending on the organization. So they will be using majorly JIRA or ServiceNow. And you need to attend the status meeting with SMEs. Okay. And you need to do some maintenances. As I said earlier, if you get any table space error, you need to inform to the Oracle team, admin team. And if you get any integration server down issues, so you need to inform to the Informatica admin teams. So and there will be some workflows that you need to maintain, let's say there are in my project, I have used mm, every year, back year we'll be taking the backup tables, right? So that we need to manually do that work. So that is also will come under maintenance. Preparing preventive measure reduce recurring issues. So if you have same repeated errors, so that you need to be find the root cause and you need to eliminate that issue permanently. Proving the assistance to reproduce the issues and working closely with support team. With support team. Okay. Support team in the sense if it's not related to your issues, but the issues are coming from the upstream or downstream. So at that time, you need to closely work with the upstream or downstream team. So and both you need to resolve the issues. So monitoring daily job monitoring will be there. This will be based on the application jobs. How many applications the organizations was handling, and each application how many jobs are there, how many active and inactive jobs are there, and in each active what are all the procedure uh, it will be very depending on the upstream or downstream applications, whether we'll be receiving the files from upstream or we will or we will be sending the files to the downstream or upstream applications. So that you need to be analyze the workflows, how many workflows are involved in each application. And database jobs will be also there, like as I said, backup, taking backup and syncing the backup tables. So that also those kind of jobs also will be there. Archival reporting database jobs, I said, like suppose you for every quarterly you need to archive some tables or okay, so those kind of jobs also will be there. And working on bugs like bug tracking tools, JIRA, JIRA service now, as we discussed earlier, and meeting SLA based on the severity, blocker, critical, and normal. The priority is like high, medium, low. Based on this priority, you need to close that ticket. So if it is low, it will be like 4 days or 1 week time period will be there. If it is medium, it's like 2 to 3 days. If it is high, you need to resolve within 1 day. Okay, 1 day or say like 10 hours. That will depend on the each organization. That will depending on the issue as well. Communication with users, SMS, collaboration with other teams to resolve the issue. As I said, you might need to work with the upstream team or the downstream support team. So providing the RCA, if you need to push the code to the production, you need to provide RCA. Okay. Status meeting with SMS weekly, bi-weekly update status will you need to provide to the clients. So that will need to be taken. That you need to be taken. Okay, preparing SOPs, so preventive measures to reduce recurring issues. What are the measures you need to take for the recurring issues? Okay, you suppose you worked on some issue and it is recurring every week. So at that time, what do you need to do? In a status call, you need to inform to the clients or respective team saying that so and so they are. So this is what we are getting the value every time. So this need to be in a proper file that you need to give the sample file so that they will be making sure that for the next run they will be providing the same kind of file. So that kind of analysis you need to do and you need to provide the SOP. Uh, so as I said, this is for reproduce the issue site, working closely with the support team or upstream team, downstream team. Input analysis for the upgrade projects like database, application server, environment. So this and all need to be taken care. So I hope this will find suits you. So if you are looking for a production roles, now the scenario is we are not getting the development roles in Informatica because all the companies are switching to IACS now. So if you want to get a job in Informatica, this is only the support roles are there, not into the development. Very less out of 10, you might be seeing like two to three jobs as an Informatica developer. Since the Informatica is moving to the cloud, right? Then these L4 support roles are very high. So if you follow these kind of like these scenarios, then you will be definitely get a job. Yeah, I hope you guys understood this. Uh, Thank you so much for watching my videos continuously, and I am very thankful for your support. Please do subscribe to my channel so that I will be uploading the videos. Thank you so much. Have a great day.